Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in for today's tip, and it's a good one. You know, over the years since I've been doing this channel, one of the most frequent questions I get anytime I'm using like Texas rigs or I'm using bobber stops for whatever technique it may be, I get asked the question, is there a way to reuse your bobber stops? And yes, there is absolutely a simple way to go ahead and reuse your bobber stops. I know a lot of you out there are probably looking at it going, well, why do you want to reuse your bobber stops? They cost a few bucks, you get 10 or 15 in a package. But the reality is, for me, bobber stops are something that I use for multiple different techniques, not just to peg a bullet weight on. You know, I've done videos in the past talking about all of the different uses for bobber stops, and I'll link that at the end of this video so that you guys can watch that too. But the reality is, I can go through a pack of higher quality bobber stops in a day, no problem. If I'm rigging up 15 or 20 rods for a tournament, I can go through a pack of the bobber stops that I like to use in a day with not any issues at all. And a lot of times the bobber stops that I'm using were used for a short period of time and have a lot of life left in them. And you know, with the way the expenses are getting in today's market, if you can save a few bucks on bobber stops, hey, that's going to allow you to buy maybe an extra pack of baits down the road. So I want to show you today, guys, a simple way to reuse your bobber stops. This is not something difficult to do. The reality is, you know, if you use a bobber stop like this bobber stop that I used in a video that I did talking about bobbers, you can see the bobber stop right there. If I take this off the line, you know, I literally put this bobber stop on for this video. So it was something that got maybe 5 minutes of use. It's never actually hit the water. So if I want to reuse this bobber stop, what I do is I've got a sewing needle and I just slide the bobber stop back onto that sewing needle. It's something that, you know, takes you a second to slide it up onto the needle. But, you know, most bobber stops all have pre-made holes. So once you have it on there, you can slide it right up on. So you can see I've got 3 bobber stops on there. And then when you want to use it, so I've got a bunch of needles with bobber stops sitting in my tackle box in my boat, my terminal tackle box. So then you take your line, hopefully you can see that, and then you just run it through the eye of the needle, which sometimes is the hardest part. So I've got my line through. At that point, I can just take the bobber stop, slide it up over the needle, just like you would when you get it, and you just pull it through so your tag end is done. And there you go. I have just reused a bobber stop that is perfectly good. And this is something that's simple to do. So I keep some sewing needles in my tackle box. I'll slide up the bobber stops. I'm going to take this one off. I'm going to slide it back on the needle so that I can reuse it again in the future. Something that, you know, again, you're talking about saving a few bucks down the road, but there's absolutely no reason to throw that bobber stop out. I've just added it on. So I've got all 3 bobber stops back on that needle. Throw it in my terminal tackle box, put it in my boat. I will catch a lot more fish using this bobber stop. Save me a few bucks. Takes a few seconds to do. Something that really, there's no reason to throw them away. They're still perfectly good. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got another way to reuse your bobber stops, put it in the comment section so the rest of us can learn from you as well. This is how I do it. Super simple. Hopefully you guys will pick it up too and you can save some money on some bobber stops. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Stay tuned. Another video coming out tomorrow.